There are so many versions of Cinderella, there's even male versions of it, and this one's from Japan and it's called Fireboy. It is a wild ride where a really smart girl is the true hero of the story. Like all traditional Cinderella stories, it starts with a man and a woman who have a child, but the woman dies and he marries a stepmother who then does not like the child. One day the father has to go on a journey, so he tells the stepmother, you only have to comb his hair while I'm gone. That's important. So he leaves, and she not only does not comb his hair and lets it become wild, dirty, and unkempt, but forces him to work hard, do all the chores. When they get word the dad is coming back, the stepmom says, you go meet him at the ship first. I'll come in a little bit. And so he goes out to meet his dad, and the dad's like, what in the world happened to you? You look awful. And he's like, well, my stepmom didn't take care of me. He's like, all right, we're going to go home and talk to your mom about this. But while they were gone, the mom took a razor and cut her face. And when they come home and she's in bed, she gets up with her bloody face and says, look what your son did to me. The dad's so mad at his son, he banishes him, disowns him, but he still gives him like the best horse and the best kimonos he brought back for him from his trip. He's like, okay, you can still have your presents though. Goodbye. Dude travels to a new village and he tries to get work from this old man who said he'll hire him on as a gardener. And so he tries to give him his nice kimonos in return for working clothes, but the man won't take them because they're too nice. And he's like, I'll just give you the working clothes. But our guy's so sweet. He's like, you got to take something. So how about I just put them in a box? You keep them in a box. You don't have to wear them, but you know, take them. Later he goes on, leaving the kimonos with that guy, gets work for a rich man, and he does so much work as all the different servant jobs that he gets the name Fireboy from like working with the hearth. One day the rich man is like, I want you to make dinner early because there's going to be this big ball with dancing tonight, and I want you to come too. And he's like, no, I can't come, sorry. But when everyone else leaves, he takes a bath, goes and gets the nice clothes from the old man's house, and puts on tall wooden clogs and rides his horse to the ball. He shows up at the ball and he looks so amazing that the people literally say, a deity has come down from heaven, let us stand and worship him. No one recognizes him except the daughter of the rich man. She's like, that's our Fireboy. He's got a piece of soot on his ear. But her father says, do not profane deities, worship him. And he sneaks home, gets dirty again, and everyone comes home raving about this amazing man. But the next night, the same thing's about to happen again. But after he gets all dolled up and he's ready to go out, he sees that the daughter is out there waiting for him. She lied and said, oh, I left a sandal at home, and came back so that she could be like, ha, I knew it was you. And so he's like, yeah, it's me. Want to go to the ball together? So they ride on the horse together and he makes the horse dance and everyone says 2 deities have come, man and wife, and even the father worships them. And then they go home and he changes clothes and she hides in her room and says, oh, I have a stomach ache. And they totally pretend it wasn't them. But then the girl actually does get ill with longing, which is something that happens in folklore and fairy tales a lot. People long for a person so much they are physically dying. It can sure feel that way sometimes. Well, a priestess is called and she knows what's up. She tells the dad she's dying of love. You need to have all of the men who work here, all 17 of them, stand up and line up, and whoever she presents a cup to, that's the one she wants. He lines everyone up, but the girl doesn't offer the cup to anybody, and the rich man's like, is everyone out here? And then someone's like, oh yeah, the Fireboy, that dirty guy, he's not out here. And he's like, well, get him out here. So the Fireboy is so extra too, because he's like, I'm not coming out unless I can have nicer clothes after he takes a bath. And so they give him the father's clothes and he's like, not nice enough, and throws them in a pig pen. He's given nicer clothes, throws them in the horse's stable, and then finally he's given even nicer clothes and he throws them in the toilet. Finally, he puts on his own fancy kimono, gets on his horse, comes out, and the girl goes up to him and gives him the cup. It says her disease was immediately healed. Rich man finally gets it and he's like, oh, I didn't see that the first night like my daughter did. Will you please be my son-in-law? So the wedding ceremony begins and it lasts 3 days, and then on the 4th day, our guy is like, hey, I want to go visit my parents. Is that cool? But the dad says you can only have 1 day to go and come back. So Fireboy prepares to leave, but his wife, who clearly can see things other people can't, says, hey, if any mulberries fall in your saddle on the way there, do not eat them. I promise you, no matter how thirsty or hungry you are. And he's like, yeah, totally, will not eat the mulberries. So he goes, and like she said, mulberries fall in his saddle, and at first he's like, no, I'm not gonna eat them. But eventually he becomes so hungry and thirsty, he does eat them, and he dies. But the horse keeps carrying his dead body to his parents' house. Horse gets to the front door and whinnies, and the dad's like, hey, I think that's my son's horse. Will you go check? So the wife goes and opens the door, and the horse immediately attacked and killed her. The dad goes to the door, sees his son's dead body, apparently just ignores his wife's, and puts him in a wine cask, closes the lid, and says, "Why have you come back to me dead, son?" Back home, Fireboy's wife has figured out what's going on. "I think he ate the mulberries. I gotta go save him." She gets life-restoring water, and she somehow finds her way to his dad's house, even though she didn't know how to get there. She knocks on the door. She's like, "Show me your son's body." And he's like, "I'm not showing my son's body to a stranger." And she's like, "I'm his wife." And he's like, "Oh, well then come right in." She rubs his body with the life-restoring water, and he comes back to life. When he comes back to life, he says, "I was sleeping in the morning. I was sleeping in the evening." And she says, "You were not sleeping. You ate mulberries that I told you not to eat, and you died. I have revived you with this life-restoring water. Come, let us return home." Fireboy is like, "Dad, I have to go home with my wife and take care of her father and her family, as is my duty, because she saved my life, but I'll give you lots of money so you can adopt a new son so he can take care of you when you get old, because that's the right thing to do." And then they do that, and they all live happily ever after. As always, check out my book, A Fairy Tale Retelling of the 12 Dancing Princesses, my podcast. All the links are in the bio.